Why do some people take bold risks and achieve incredible success, while others play it safe and stay stuck in their comfort zone? Is it luck, bravery, or something more? In his compelling book, The Art of Risk, Richard Harris reveals that smart risk-taking isn't about being fearless. It's about understanding risk, managing fear, and building the courage to act despite uncertainty. In today's video, we'll break down key lessons from this book, including how to take calculated risks, bounce back from failure, and use risk as a tool for personal and professional growth. Whether you want to advance in your career, strengthen your relationships, or simply live a more adventurous life, this book offers valuable strategies to help you master the art of risk. If you're ready to take control of your future and embrace the power of risk, be sure to check out The Art of Risk by Richard Harris. You can find the link to buy the book in the description below. Let's dive in. Introduction. Risk is a constant companion in life. From the moment humans first ventured out to explore the unknown, risk has been an unavoidable part of survival, growth, and success. In fact, our very existence today is the result of countless calculated risks taken by our ancestors. However, despite its critical role in human evolution, risk has always been accompanied by fear, an instinct designed to protect us, but often holding us back from realizing our full potential. Richard Harris, in The Art of Risk, delves into the paradox of risk. While it is essential for survival and progress, it's something most people instinctively avoid. He offers a detailed exploration of how humans perceive, assess, and take risks in various aspects of life, be it in careers, relationships, or everyday decisions. The book is not about reckless risk-taking, but about developing a thoughtful approach toward uncertainty. Harris presents practical strategies for taking calculated risks, building resilience, and learning from failure, all while striking a balance between caution and boldness. Through real-life stories, psychological insights, and scientific research, Harris paints a comprehensive picture of why risk is vital and how mastering the art of risk-taking can lead to a more fulfilling and successful life. Whether you're trying to advance in your career, build stronger relationships, or make important life decisions, this book provides actionable insights and tools for managing the fear of the unknown and stepping confidently into the future. Chapter 1. What is risk? Risk is an inherent part of life. Every action, from crossing the street to making a financial investment, involves some degree of uncertainty. At its core, risk refers to the potential for an outcome to differ from what is expected, whether that outcome is positive or negative. Though often associated with danger or loss, risk can also lead to reward, progress, and success when approached wisely. In different contexts, the meaning and significance of risk can vary. For instance, in financial settings, risk typically refers to the possibility of losing money. Investors assess the level of risk involved before committing their resources, weighing potential gains against the chance of loss. Some investments, like government bonds, carry low risk but offer modest returns, while others, such as stocks or startups, present higher risks with the potential for substantial rewards. In personal life, risk manifests in countless ways, from pursuing a new career path to moving to a different city. Each of these actions carries an element of uncertainty, as outcomes cannot be fully predicted. People who embrace such personal risks often find themselves growing and learning, even if the results aren't always what they hoped for. Avoiding personal risks, on the other hand, can lead to stagnation, limiting one's opportunities for change and improvement. From a societal perspective, risk is often linked to large-scale decisions that affect entire communities. Governments and organizations constantly face choices involving social and economic risks, such as implementing new policies, responding to crises, or investing in infrastructure. Societal risk-taking drives innovation and progress, yet it also requires careful management to avoid catastrophic outcomes. The psychology of risk-taking reveals that people's attitudes toward risk are deeply influenced by their emotions, experiences, and perceptions. While some individuals are naturally drawn to risks, seeking the thrill and excitement they bring, others are more cautious, preferring to minimize uncertainty wherever possible. These tendencies are shaped by factors such as upbringing, cultural background, and personal experiences with success or failure. One of the key challenges in risk-taking is distinguishing between calculated risks and reckless actions. A calculated risk involves thoughtful analysis and consideration of potential outcomes. It requires gathering relevant information, evaluating different options, and making a decision based on both logic and intuition. Calculated risks offer a higher likelihood of a positive outcome because they are taken with awareness and preparation. Reckless actions, on the other hand, are often impulsive and poorly thought out. They tend to ignore potential consequences, relying more on chance than on reason. While reckless actions may occasionally result in success, they are far more likely to lead to negative outcomes due to a lack of planning. Ultimately, understanding what risk truly means and how it functions in various areas of life is the first step toward mastering it. By learning to differentiate between wise risks and unnecessary gambles, individuals can make better decisions and navigate life's uncertainties with greater confidence. Risk is not something to be feared. It is something to be respected, assessed, and when appropriate, embraced. Chapter 2. Evolutionary Roots of Risk. Throughout human history, risk-taking has been a fundamental part of survival. Early humans lived in a world filled with constant threats: wild animals, harsh climates, scarcity of food, and rival groups. In such an environment, the ability to assess and take risks became a crucial skill. Without taking risks, humans would have been unable to explore new territories, hunt dangerous prey, or adapt to changing environments. This chapter delves into the evolutionary roots of risk, examining how it shaped human behavior and decision-making. In the early stages of human evolution, those who took well-calculated risks were often rewarded. Consider the hunter who ventured into unfamiliar territory in search of food. While the risk of encountering a predator or getting lost was high, the potential reward, a successful hunt that could feed the group for days, made it worthwhile. Those who succeeded in taking such risks not only survived, but also passed on their genes, embedding risk-taking tendencies into human DNA. Over generations, this behavior became hardwired, creating a balance between fear, which warns us of danger, and curiosity, which drives us toward new opportunities. Instinct and emotion played a key role in early human decision-making. Before the development of complex reasoning skills, humans relied heavily on instinctive reactions to risky situations. The brain evolved to quickly assess potential threats and respond accordingly. The amygdala, a part of the brain responsible for processing fear, would trigger a fight-or-flight response when faced with danger. This quick, instinctual reaction increased the chances of survival in life-or-death situations. For example, if an early human encountered a predator, there was no time for logical analysis. Immediate action was necessary. This instinct-driven decision-making allowed humans to react swiftly to immediate risks, though it also led to biases that persist today. One of the most significant evolutionary biases is the tendency to overestimate immediate dangers. This bias evolved as a survival mechanism. Better to assume a rustle in the bushes is a predator and be wrong than to ignore it and be caught off guard. While this hypervigilance served early humans well in dangerous environments, it can cause problems in the modern world, where most risks are less immediate and more abstract. For instance, many people today have a fear of flying, even though it is statistically one of the safest modes of transportation. This fear arises because the brain is wired to react strongly to situations where we lack control, despite the low actual risk involved. Conversely, humans are also prone to underestimating long-term risks. Early humans lived in environments where immediate survival was the primary concern. Long-term thinking was less relevant because most risks were immediate and visible. This evolutionary bias explains why many people struggle to prioritize long-term risks, such as health issues or financial planning. Since these risks do not trigger the same instinctual fear as immediate dangers, they are often ignored until they become urgent. Despite these biases, the balance between fear and curiosity has allowed humans to thrive. Fear kept early humans cautious, while curiosity drove them to explore, innovate, and take the necessary risks that led to progress. The development of tools, agriculture, and social structures required individuals to take risks, experiment, and learn from failure. Those who took too few risks stagnated, while those who were too reckless often met premature ends. The optimal strategy was, and still is, a balanced approach, where risks are taken with caution but not avoided altogether. Understanding the evolutionary roots of risk helps explain why people today approach risk in such diverse ways. Some individuals are naturally more risk-averse, likely due to ancestral lines where caution was a more successful survival strategy. Others are more risk-seeking, descendants of those who thrived by exploring and taking bold chances. While modern society offers a much safer environment than that of early humans, these evolutionary patterns still influence behavior in areas like business, relationships, and personal growth. By recognizing these inherited tendencies, individuals can make more informed decisions in today's world. Knowing that our brains are wired to overreact to immediate threats and downplay long-term risks allows us to pause, reflect, and approach situations with greater clarity. In doing so, we can balance instinct with logic, embracing the right risks while avoiding unnecessary danger. Risk-taking has always been a part of human nature. It helped our ancestors survive in a dangerous world and continues to drive innovation and progress today. While our evolutionary past may cause us to react irrationally at times, understanding the origins of these behaviors enables us to manage risk more effectively, turning it into an ally rather than a source of fear. Risk, when approached wisely, becomes not just a challenge to overcome, but an opportunity to grow and thrive. Chapter 3. Types of risk-takers. Risk-taking behavior varies significantly among individuals. While some people thrive in uncertainty and eagerly take bold chances, others prefer stability and avoid situations where the outcome is unknown. This diversity in how people approach risk stems from their unique personalities, experiences, and circumstances. Understanding the different types of risk-takers and the factors influencing their behavior provides valuable insight into why people make certain decisions. Broadly, individuals can be classified into three main categories based on their risk tolerance: risk-averse, risk-neutral, and risk-seeking. Each of these types approaches risk in distinct ways, affecting how they handle opportunities, challenges, and uncertainties in life. Risk-averse individuals are those who prefer to minimize uncertainty and avoid situations where there is a potential for loss. These individuals value security and predictability, often opting for safer choices even if they offer lower potential rewards. For example, a risk-averse person might choose a stable job with a fixed income rather than pursuing a high-risk entrepreneurial venture, even if the latter has the potential for greater financial success. Their cautious nature is often driven by a fear of failure or loss, which can make them highly disciplined but less likely to seize high-reward opportunities. In contrast, risk-neutral individuals adopt a more balanced approach. They neither seek out risk nor shy away from it. Instead, they evaluate situations based on logic and expected outcomes. Risk-neutral people focus on the potential payoff, making decisions based on whether the benefits outweigh the costs. For instance, an investor with a risk-neutral mindset will not be swayed by emotions such as fear or excitement. They will objectively assess the probability of gain versus loss before committing to an investment. This balanced approach helps them avoid rash decisions while remaining open to beneficial risks. At the other end of the spectrum are risk-seeking individuals who actively pursue risk and thrive in uncertainty. These people often enjoy the thrill of taking chances and are willing to accept high levels of uncertainty in exchange for the possibility of significant rewards. Entrepreneurs, adventurers, and thrill seekers often fall into this category. For them, the excitement of the unknown and the potential for high gains outweigh the fear of failure. While their bold nature can lead to great success, it can also expose them to greater dangers and failures if not tempered by careful planning. Various factors influence a person's risk-taking behavior. One of the primary factors is age. Studies have shown that younger individuals tend to be more inclined toward taking risks, possibly because they have fewer responsibilities and a longer time horizon to recover from potential losses. As people age, they often become more risk-averse, prioritizing stability and security, especially when it comes to financial decisions and personal safety. Gender is another significant factor. Research suggests that, on average, men are more likely to take risks than women. This difference may be due to both biological and social influences. Testosterone levels, for example, have been linked to higher risk-taking tendencies. Additionally, societal norms and expectations often encourage men to be more daring, while women may be socialized to value caution and prudence. Upbringing and personal experiences also play a crucial role in shaping an individual's attitude toward risk. People raised in environments that encouraged exploration and experimentation tend to be more comfortable with risk. Conversely, those who grew up in highly protective or risk-averse households may develop a preference for safety and stability. Personal experiences, such as past successes or failures, can further reinforce or diminish an individual's willingness to take risks. For example, someone who has experienced repeated success in taking calculated risks may develop confidence and a positive attitude toward future risks, while someone who has faced significant setbacks might become more cautious. Ultimately, while personality and past experiences shape an individual's natural approach to risk, it's important to note that risk-taking is not a fixed trait. People can learn to adjust their behavior, becoming more or less willing to take risks depending on the situation and the potential outcomes. By understanding these different types of risk-takers and the factors that influence behavior, individuals can make more informed choices about when and how to embrace risk in their lives. Whether one is naturally risk-averse, neutral, or seeking, mastering the art of risk involves knowing oneself and learning to strike the right balance between caution and boldness. Chapter 4. Brain Chemistry and Decision-Making. Risk-taking behavior is deeply connected to how the brain processes information and makes decisions. When confronted with uncertainty, different areas of the brain work together to assess the situation and determine the best course of action. Understanding the role of brain chemistry helps explain why some people are more inclined to take risks, while others are more cautious. Two key areas of the brain involved in decision-making are the amygdala and the prefrontal cortex. The amygdala is responsible for processing emotions, especially fear. When a person faces a risky situation, the amygdala reacts by generating an emotional response, which often manifests as fear or anxiety. This response serves as a warning system, helping individuals recognize potential dangers. However, while the amygdala can protect us from harm, it can also exaggerate risks, making people overly cautious in situations where the actual danger is minimal. In contrast, the prefrontal cortex is associated with higher-order thinking, logic, and rational decision-making. It helps individuals evaluate risks and rewards objectively, weighing potential outcomes before taking action. A well-functioning prefrontal cortex can override the fear signals generated by the amygdala, allowing people to make more calculated decisions. This balance between emotion and reason is critical in determining how individuals approach risk. Those with a more dominant prefrontal cortex tend to take calculated risks, while those with a highly reactive amygdala may avoid risk altogether. Another significant factor in risk-taking behavior is the role of dopamine, a neurotransmitter associated with pleasure and reward. When people engage in activities with uncertain outcomes, whether it's gambling, investing, or extreme sports, the brain releases dopamine when things go well. This release creates a sense of excitement and reinforces the desire to take risks. Individuals with a highly active dopamine system are more likely to seek out risky experiences because they find the potential reward so stimulating. This explains why some people enjoy activities like skydiving or high-stakes trading, while others find them overwhelming or unappealing. Neuroscientists have studied individuals in high-risk professions, such as pilots, entrepreneurs, and surgeons, to understand how their brains handle risk differently. Interestingly, many of these individuals exhibit a unique combination of heightened dopamine activity and a well-regulated prefrontal cortex. This balance allows them to remain calm under pressure, make rational decisions, and experience a sense of excitement rather than fear when facing uncertainty. For example, a pilot encountering a sudden in-flight emergency needs to override the initial fear response generated by the amygdala and rely on logical thinking and training to resolve the situation. By understanding how the brain processes risk and the role of neurotransmitters like dopamine, individuals can develop strategies to improve their decision-making. Awareness of these biological processes allows people to manage emotional responses, enhance rational thinking, and approach risks with greater confidence and clarity. Chapter 5. The Role of Fear and Uncertainty. Fear and uncertainty are two of the most significant barriers to risk-taking. Fear, in particular, can distort how individuals perceive risk, often making dangers seem greater than they truly are. While fear is a natural response designed to protect us from harm, it can become a hindrance when it prevents people from pursuing worthwhile opportunities. The perception of risk is closely tied to fear. When faced with an unfamiliar situation, the brain automatically assesses potential threats. This response is deeply rooted in human evolution, where fear served as a survival mechanism in dangerous environments. However, in modern society, where many risks are less life-threatening, fear can still trigger a strong emotional reaction, even when the actual risk is minimal. For instance, many people fear public speaking, not because it poses a real danger, but because the brain perceives it as a threat to social standing. This fear leads to avoidance behavior, preventing individuals from developing valuable skills or seizing opportunities. One of the most common fears associated with risk is the fear of failure. People often avoid taking risks because they are afraid of negative outcomes, such as embarrassment, financial loss, or criticism. This fear can be paralyzing, leading to missed opportunities for growth and success. However, failure is an inevitable part of life, and learning to overcome the fear of failure is crucial for personal and professional development. Many successful individuals, from entrepreneurs to artists, have experienced multiple failures before achieving their goals. They view failure not as a permanent setback, but as a learning opportunity. To overcome the fear of failure, it is essential to reframe failure as feedback. When individuals stop viewing failure as a personal flaw and start seeing it as valuable information, they become more willing to take risks. This shift in mindset allows people to learn from their mistakes, improve their strategies, and ultimately increase their chances of success. Developing resilience, the ability to recover quickly from setbacks, is another important skill in overcoming fear. Resilient individuals are better equipped to handle uncertainty because they trust their ability to adapt and persevere. Another critical factor in managing risk is reducing uncertainty. Uncertainty amplifies fear, as it creates a sense of unpredictability. People are more comfortable taking risks when they feel they have some control over the outcome. Strategies for reducing uncertainty include gathering information, seeking advice from experienced individuals, and breaking down large, intimidating tasks into smaller, manageable steps. For example, an entrepreneur launching a new business can reduce uncertainty by conducting market research, creating a detailed business plan, and starting with a small-scale launch before expanding. These actions provide clarity and increase the likelihood of success. Preparation is one of the most effective ways to reduce fear and uncertainty. When individuals feel prepared, they are more confident in their ability to handle challenges. Athletes, for example, train rigorously before competitions to ensure they are ready for any scenario. Similarly, professionals in high-stakes fields, such as medicine or law, rely on extensive training and practice to build confidence and competence. By being well prepared, individuals can reduce the emotional impact of uncertainty and approach risks with greater assurance. Ultimately, fear and uncertainty are natural parts of risk-taking. While they cannot be eliminated entirely, they can be managed and even transformed into sources of motivation. By understanding how fear influences risk perception and developing strategies to reduce uncertainty, individuals can take more informed risks and embrace opportunities for growth. Mastering fear and uncertainty is a critical step in developing the art of risk, allowing people to move forward with confidence even when the outcome is unclear. Chapter 6. The Influence of Society on Risk. Throughout human history, society has played a significant role in shaping how individuals perceive and take risks. Social norms, cultural values, peer influence, and media narratives create a framework that guides behavior, often determining what is considered an acceptable or unacceptable risk. While personal tendencies toward risk are largely influenced by biology and individual experiences, the social environment amplifies or suppresses these instincts in important ways. Social norms, the unwritten rules that govern behavior within a group, exert a powerful influence on risk-taking. Every society establishes norms about what kinds of risks are acceptable. In some cultures, risk-taking is seen as a necessary path to growth and success, while in others, caution and preservation are more highly valued. For example, in entrepreneurial cultures, such as those found in Silicon Valley, taking bold risks is often encouraged and rewarded. Failure is not seen as a personal flaw, but as a valuable learning experience. In contrast, more traditional societies may discourage risk-taking, prioritizing stability and long-term security. This cultural context shapes the willingness of individuals to engage in risky behaviors, whether in business, personal relationships, or creative endeavors. Peer pressure also plays a crucial role in risk-taking behavior. Humans are inherently social creatures, and the desire to belong to a group can lead individuals to take risks they might otherwise avoid. This is particularly evident in adolescence, when social acceptance becomes a dominant concern. Young people often take risks, such as experimenting with dangerous activities or engaging in reckless behavior, not because they perceive the reward as greater than the danger, but because they want to gain approval from their peers. This group influence extends into adulthood, affecting decisions in professional and personal contexts. For instance, in a workplace setting, employees may take professional risks, such as proposing bold ideas or pursuing high-stakes projects, if they perceive that their colleagues or leaders value innovation and initiative. The effect of group dynamics on risk-taking can be both positive and negative. In a supportive group environment, individuals are more likely to take calculated risks, knowing they have the backing of their peers. This can lead to groundbreaking innovations, as seen in teams working on creative or scientific projects. On the other hand, group pressure can also lead to herd behavior, where individuals follow the actions of the majority without critically assessing the risks involved. This phenomenon is often observed in financial markets, where fear of missing out, FOMO, drives people to make hasty investment decisions, sometimes resulting in significant losses. In addition to social norms and peer pressure, the media has a profound impact on how people perceive risk. Media outlets often focus on dramatic or fear-inducing stories, as these attract attention and generate higher engagement. This focus on sensationalism can skew public perception of risk, making certain dangers seem more prevalent than they actually are. For instance, While plane crashes are exceedingly rare compared to car accidents, media coverage of air disasters tends to be extensive and graphic, leading many people to develop an irrational fear of flying. Similarly, reports of violent crimes, natural disasters, and health scares can heighten anxiety and discourage people from taking reasonable risks, even when the actual probability of harm is low. Fear-driven narratives perpetuated by the media can lead to a culture of fear, where individuals and communities become overly risk-averse. In such a culture, people may avoid taking even minor risks, opting instead for safe, familiar options. This aversion to risk can stifle creativity, innovation, and progress. It can also have broader societal consequences, such as reduced entrepreneurial activity, slower economic growth, and a reluctance to embrace necessary social changes. However, not all media influence on risk perception is negative. Responsible journalism and storytelling can help people understand complex risks and make informed decisions. For example, during public health crises, accurate and balanced reporting plays a vital role in guiding behavior and reducing panic. Educational media can also encourage positive risk-taking by sharing stories of individuals who have overcome challenges through calculated risks. In conclusion, society, through its norms, peer influence, and media narratives, shapes how individuals approach risk. While personal attitudes toward risk vary, the social environment provides the context in which decisions are made. By understanding these societal influences, individuals can better navigate risks, distinguishing between genuine dangers and exaggerated fears. Developing the ability to critically assess risk, free from undue social or media pressure, is a key component of mastering the art of risk. Ultimately, a balanced approach, one that acknowledges societal influences while empowering personal judgment, enables individuals to take risks that lead to growth, innovation, and meaningful achievements. Chapter 7. Assessing Risk Logically. When faced with uncertainty, the ability to assess risk logically is a crucial skill that helps individuals make better decisions. While some risks are worth taking, others can lead to significant losses. Therefore, developing a systematic approach to evaluate risk can improve the likelihood of achieving desired outcomes. This chapter delves into practical tools and strategies that aid in logical risk assessment, as well as the importance of balancing intuition with objective analysis. One of the most widely used tools for assessing risk is the cost-benefit analysis. This framework involves comparing the potential costs of a decision with the expected benefits. If the benefits outweigh the costs, the risk may be considered worth taking. For example, an entrepreneur considering launching a new product might weigh the costs of production, marketing, and distribution against the projected revenue and market demand. If the potential profit significantly exceeds the costs, the risk appears logical. However, if the margin is slim or uncertain, it may warrant further research or reconsideration. Another useful method is the SWOT analysis, which stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. This framework allows individuals to objectively evaluate internal and external factors that can influence a decision. By identifying strengths, such as resources or skills, and opportunities, such as market gaps or favorable conditions, while being mindful of weaknesses, such as lack of experience, and threats, such as competition or economic risks, individuals can form a clearer picture of whether a risk is worth taking. This method is particularly valuable in business and strategic planning, where multiple variables must be considered. While logic plays a crucial role in assessing risk, intuition should not be ignored. Balancing intuition with logic involves acknowledging gut feelings without letting them dominate the decision-making process. Intuition often arises from past experiences and subconscious pattern recognition, which can provide valuable insights. For instance, a seasoned investor might sense that a particular market trend is risky despite favorable data. While logical analysis might support taking the risk, the investor's intuition, built from years of experience, should still be factored into the final decision. The key is to use intuition as a guide, followed by logical analysis to confirm or challenge initial impressions. Learning from past experiences is essential in refining the ability to assess risk. Every decision, whether successful or not, offers valuable lessons. By reflecting on past risks, individuals can identify what worked, what didn't, and why. For example, if a previous business venture failed due to poor market research, future decisions should place greater emphasis on gathering accurate data before proceeding. Over time, this iterative process helps develop better judgment and increases confidence in taking risks. Logical risk assessment, when done correctly, reduces uncertainty and allows individuals to take more calculated risks. By using tools such as cost-benefit analysis and SWOT, balancing intuition with reason, and learning from past experiences, individuals can improve their ability to assess risks and make informed decisions. Chapter 8. Taking Calculated Risks. Taking risks is an essential part of life, but not all risks lead to positive outcomes. The key to successful risk-taking is learning how to take calculated risks, which involves careful planning, evaluation, and execution. Calculated risks are those where potential outcomes are thoughtfully assessed, and the likelihood of success is maximized by minimizing unnecessary uncertainties. The first step in taking a calculated risk is gathering information. The more data a person has about a situation, the better equipped they are to make a sound decision. This step involves conducting thorough research, consulting experts, and understanding the context of the risk. For example, before investing in a startup, a potential investor might study the industry, analyze market trends, review the startup's business plan, and seek advice from experienced investors. The goal is to gather as much relevant information as possible to reduce unknown variables. Once sufficient information is collected, the next step is evaluating potential outcomes. This involves considering both the best-case and worst-case scenarios, as well as everything in between. It's important to assess the likelihood of different outcomes and determine whether the potential reward justifies the risk. Tools like probability analysis and decision trees can help visualize possible scenarios and their respective impacts. Additionally, thinking through contingency plans, what actions to take if things go wrong, provides a safety net that makes risk-taking less daunting. After evaluating the possible outcomes, the next critical step is taking action with confidence. No amount of preparation can eliminate all risks, and at some point, a decision must be made. Hesitation or over-analysis can lead to missed opportunities. Successful risk-takers understand that once they have gathered sufficient information and assessed the situation logically, they need to commit to their decision and move forward. Confidence plays a crucial role here. Even if the outcome is uncertain, acting decisively often increases the chances of success, because it inspires trust and determination in others involved in the process. Another important aspect of calculated risk-taking is timing. Even a well-planned risk can fail if taken at the wrong time. Timing involves recognizing when the conditions are right for taking action. In business, this might mean launching a new product when market demand is high or entering an industry just before a major growth phase. In personal decisions, timing might involve waiting for the right moment to make a career change or relocate to a new city. Effective risk-takers have a keen sense of timing and are patient enough to wait for the optimal moment while remaining ready to act swiftly when it arrives. Taking calculated risks requires preparation, thoughtful evaluation, and decisive action. By gathering relevant information, carefully evaluating potential outcomes, acting with confidence, and paying attention to timing, individuals can increase their chances of success while minimizing unnecessary losses. This approach not only reduces fear, but also empowers people to pursue opportunities that might otherwise seem too risky. With practice, taking calculated risks becomes a skill that leads to growth, innovation, and long-term success. Chapter 9. Resilience and Risk. Risk and resilience are intrinsically linked. The willingness to take risks often comes down to a person's ability to handle setbacks and keep moving forward. Building resilience, the mental and emotional capacity to recover from challenges, is essential for anyone seeking success in an unpredictable world. Without resilience, even minor failures can become overwhelming, leading to fear, hesitation, and a reluctance to take future risks. This chapter explores how resilience strengthens the ability to face uncertainty, how to recover from failure, and provides real-life examples of individuals who succeeded by learning from their mistakes. Building resilience begins with cultivating a growth mindset, a term coined by psychologist Carol Dweck. A growth mindset is the belief that abilities and intelligence can be developed through effort and learning. People with a fixed mindset view failure as a reflection of their inherent limitations, while those with a growth mindset see failure as an opportunity to grow and improve. Developing this mindset helps individuals reframe risks and failures as necessary steps in their personal and professional evolution. Emotional regulation is another critical component of resilience. Taking risks often triggers anxiety, fear, or frustration, especially when things don't go as planned. Learning to manage these emotions without being overwhelmed by them can make a significant difference in how people respond to setbacks. Techniques such as mindfulness, meditation, and journaling help in gaining perspective, calming the mind, and maintaining focus. When emotions are under control, it becomes easier to think clearly and make rational decisions, even under pressure. Recovering from failure involves more than just bouncing back. It requires a deliberate process of reflection and learning. Analyzing what went wrong without self-blame is an important step. Instead of focusing on the negative emotions that accompany failure, resilient individuals assess their actions, decisions, and external factors that contributed to the outcome. They ask questions like, what could I have done differently? What factors were beyond my control? How can I use this experience to improve my future decisions? This reflective process transforms failures into valuable lessons. For example, many successful entrepreneurs failed multiple times before finding success. Steve Jobs, one of the most famous innovators of our time, was fired from Apple, the very company he co-founded. Instead of allowing this setback to define him, Jobs used the experience to grow personally and professionally. When he eventually returned to Apple, he brought with him a fresh perspective that led to groundbreaking products like the iPhone and iPod. His story illustrates how resilience, combined with the willingness to learn from failure, can lead to extraordinary success. Another powerful strategy for building resilience is seeking support. Risk-taking can often feel isolating, especially when things go wrong. Surrounding oneself with supportive friends, mentors, or colleagues can make a significant difference. A strong support network offers encouragement, advice, and perspective during tough times. Many successful risk-takers credit their resilience to the people around them who help them stay motivated and grounded in moments of doubt or failure. Real-life examples abound of individuals who demonstrated remarkable resilience in the face of adversity. J.K. Rowling, for instance, faced numerous rejections before finding a publisher for Harry Potter. During that time, she was struggling financially and raising a child as a single mother. Despite these hardships, she persisted, eventually becoming one of the world's most successful authors. Her story is a testament to the power of perseverance and the ability to recover from repeated setbacks. Another compelling example is Elon Musk, who is known for taking bold risks in industries such as electric vehicles and space exploration. Despite facing near bankruptcy with both Tesla and SpaceX, Musk continued to push forward, believing in the long-term vision of his projects. His ability to handle stress, failure, and criticism has been a defining factor in his success. Today, both Tesla and SpaceX are industry leaders, largely because of Musk's resilience and risk-taking mindset. Resilience doesn't eliminate risk. Rather, it provides the strength to face uncertainty with confidence. It ensures that setbacks, no matter how significant, don't become permanent barriers. By developing a growth mindset, practicing emotional regulation, learning from failure, and seeking support, individuals can build the resilience needed to take risks, recover from challenges, and achieve meaningful success. Chapter 10. Risk-taking in career and business. Risk-taking is a defining element of success in both career and business. Without embracing risk, innovation becomes impossible and progress stalls. Yet, taking risks in these areas is often fraught with uncertainty and fear of failure. This chapter explores how successful individuals navigate professional risks, how calculated risks lead to innovation, and offers strategies for managing financial risks in business. In the business world, embracing risk as a path to innovation is critical. All major breakthroughs, from technological advances to revolutionary products, have been the result of individuals and organizations taking bold risks. Companies like Apple, Amazon, and Google have repeatedly ventured into uncharted territories, introducing products and services that initially seemed risky but later became game changers. Without the willingness to face uncertainty, these companies would have remained stagnant. Embracing risk requires a mindset that views failure not as the opposite of success, but as part of the process toward achieving it. Leaders who foster a culture of risk-taking encourage employees to experiment, take initiative, and learn from failures. How successful entrepreneurs approach risk provides valuable lessons for anyone looking to grow professionally or start a business. Entrepreneurs like Richard Branson and Sarah Blakely built their success by taking calculated risks. However, they didn't take risks blindly. Instead, they assessed potential downsides, prepared for worst-case scenarios, and moved forward with confidence. Blakely, the founder of Spanx, famously took a leap by investing her entire savings into developing her first product. Her risk paid off, but it was a risk she had carefully calculated after thorough research and preparation. Navigating financial risks is one of the greatest challenges in both personal careers and businesses. Financial risks can range from investing in a new venture to making major career changes, such as switching industries or starting a business. The key to managing financial risk lies in diversification, contingency planning, and financial literacy. Entrepreneurs often mitigate financial risks by starting small, securing multiple revenue streams, or seeking partnerships that reduce their personal burden. For individuals considering a career change, having a financial safety net or an alternative source of income can make the transition smoother. Understanding how to manage money and investments is crucial in making confident decisions in both career and business. Taking risks in a professional setting requires courage, preparation, and a willingness to learn from both successes and failures. When approached with a thoughtful strategy, risk-taking becomes a powerful tool for growth and innovation. Chapter 11. Risk in personal relationships. Risk is not only a factor in professional life, it's also a vital part of personal relationships. Emotional risks, though often overlooked, play a crucial role in building meaningful connections. This chapter explores how taking risks in relationships fosters growth, the importance of vulnerability, and the foundational role of trust and communication. Taking emotional risks is essential for forming deep and authentic relationships. Whether it's expressing one's true feelings, admitting mistakes, or revealing insecurities, emotional risk-taking requires courage. Many people fear rejection or judgment, which leads them to avoid opening up. However, without these emotional risks, relationships remain superficial. Expressing vulnerability can strengthen bonds and create a sense of mutual understanding. For example, in romantic relationships, sharing personal fears or past traumas can lead to greater empathy and trust between partners. Vulnerability is a key component of strong connections. As researcher Brené Brown highlights, vulnerability is not a weakness, but a form of courage. By allowing ourselves to be seen fully, including our imperfections, we invite others to do the same. This openness creates a foundation for trust and intimacy. Whether in friendships, family, or romantic partnerships, vulnerability deepens relationships and fosters mutual respect. The role of trust and communication cannot be overstated in personal relationships. Trust is built over time through consistent actions, honesty, and reliability. However, building trust often involves taking risks. Trusting someone with sensitive information, relying on them during difficult times, or forgiving them after a mistake. Effective communication is equally important, as it reduces misunderstandings and strengthens emotional bonds. By openly discussing concerns, hopes, and fears, individuals can navigate conflicts and deepen their connections. Taking risks in relationships requires emotional courage and a willingness to face uncertainty. However, those who take these risks often find that they lead to stronger, more fulfilling relationships. Chapter 12. Everyday Decision-Making. Risk-taking is not limited to major life choices, it's a part of daily life. Every day, individuals face small decisions that involve varying degrees of risk. Whether it's trying something new, speaking up in a meeting, or making a personal change, these everyday risks contribute to personal growth. This chapter discusses how small, daily risks lead to improvement, strategies for overcoming analysis paralysis, and practical tips for making better decisions. Small, daily risks are often overlooked, yet they play a significant role in personal development. Trying new things, stepping outside one's comfort zone, or pursuing hobbies are examples of risks that may seem minor but have a cumulative effect on confidence and skills. For example, someone who regularly speaks up during team meetings gradually becomes more comfortable with public speaking. These small risks prepare individuals for larger challenges, helping them develop resilience and adaptability over time. Overcoming analysis paralysis is crucial in everyday decision-making. Analysis paralysis occurs when people overthink a situation to the point where they're unable to make a decision. This often stems from a fear of making the wrong choice or missing out on other opportunities. One effective strategy to combat analysis paralysis is setting time limits for decision-making. For instance, if faced with multiple options, giving oneself a deadline to choose can prevent overthinking. Additionally, focusing on the potential benefits rather than the worst-case scenario can shift the mindset toward action. Practical tips for improving decision-making skills include breaking down decisions into smaller steps, seeking advice when necessary, and trusting one's intuition. Breaking down complex decisions into manageable parts can make them less intimidating. For example, someone considering a move to a new city can start by listing pros and cons, visiting the area, and researching job opportunities before making the final choice. Seeking advice from trusted individuals offers valuable perspectives, but it's important not to rely solely on others. Ultimately, the decision is personal. Finally, while logic is essential, trusting one's instincts can also be helpful, especially in situations where there's no clear right or wrong answer. Everyday decision-making involves small risks that, when taken consistently, lead to personal growth and improved confidence. By learning to overcome analysis paralysis and applying practical decision-making techniques, individuals can approach daily risks with greater ease, making choices that enhance their lives. Conclusion: embracing risk for a better life. Risk is an unavoidable part of life, and learning to embrace it is essential for growth, fulfillment, and achieving one's goals. Whether in career, personal relationships, or everyday decisions, the willingness to step into the unknown can open doors to new opportunities and life-changing experiences. This book has explored how calculated risk-taking, combined with resilience and thoughtful decision-making, can transform fear of failure into a powerful tool for success. Ultimately, risk is not something to be feared, it is something to be managed and embraced with intention. Risk-taking is closely tied to personal and professional growth. Without taking risks, people remain confined to their comfort zones, where progress is slow and potential remains unrealized. History is full of individuals who achieved greatness by daring to go beyond what was familiar and safe. However, it's important to understand that growth doesn't come from reckless risk-taking, but from deliberate, informed choices. Calculated risks, where the potential downsides are carefully weighed against the benefits, allow individuals to move forward with confidence and minimize unnecessary losses. Whether it's pursuing a new job opportunity, starting a business, or opening up emotionally in a relationship, thoughtful risk-taking is often the catalyst for positive change. That said, successful risk-taking requires finding a balance between recklessness and caution. Being reckless means taking risks without proper preparation or understanding of potential consequences. This approach leads to avoidable failures, unnecessary stress, and often regret. On the other hand, being overly cautious prevents people from seizing opportunities and living fully. Those who are excessively risk-averse may avoid failure, but they also miss out on rewards. True success lies in finding the middle ground, taking risks that are informed, intentional, and aligned with personal values and goals. Developing a personal philosophy of risk-taking is crucial in navigating life's uncertainties. This philosophy is built through experience, reflection, and learning from both successes and failures. Each individual must decide what level of risk they are comfortable with and when it's worth stepping beyond that comfort zone. Some people are natural risk-takers who thrive in uncertain situations, while others prefer more stability. Neither approach is inherently right or wrong, but both require self-awareness. By understanding one's tendencies, strengths, and limits, it becomes easier to make decisions that feel authentic and purposeful. Embracing risk doesn't mean eliminating fear. In fact, fear is a natural and often helpful response that signals the need for caution and preparation. However, fear should not be a barrier. It should be a motivator. Those who succeed are not people who never feel afraid, but those who act despite their fear. Courage, after all, is not the absence of fear, but the ability to move forward in the face of it. Cultivating this mindset requires practice. By starting with small risks and gradually working toward bigger ones, individuals can build confidence in their ability to handle uncertainty and recover from setbacks. Ultimately, life itself is a series of risks, from choosing a career path to forming relationships to making everyday decisions. No one can predict the future with certainty, but by learning to embrace uncertainty, people can create a life that is rich with experience, meaning, and personal fulfillment. This book has provided tools and strategies for assessing risks, taking calculated actions, building resilience, and learning from failure. The goal is not to eliminate uncertainty, but to empower individuals to navigate it skillfully. As you move forward, remember that risk is a natural part of progress. Every great achievement begins with a leap into the unknown. By developing your own approach to risk-taking, balancing preparation with action, and embracing resilience in the face of failure, you can unlock your true potential and create a life that is defined not by fear, but by growth, courage, and opportunity.